Hello! My name is Reelwind 814, and I just got back from seeing Spider-Man Homecoming. Yes, the latest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I have to say, this one was very, very good. So now, obviously, this is an origin story. But, well, actually, I shouldn't really say origin story. I mean, it kind of, yeah, I mean, I guess you could call it one, but we've already been introduced to Spider-Man, but, hmm, I don't know, I'll call it an origin story for now. But anyways, so this movie basically picks up after the event of Captain America Civil War, with Tony Stark uh, having given Spider-Man and a new suit, and basically now he sends Spider-Man home to try and tells Peter Parker to basically just try to live a normal life and just fit in. Well, that doesn't really go well because obviously he wants to be Spider-Man, and then he wants to help stop crime around the city. Yeah, obviously. Well, also trying to lead a normal life in or high school while living with his Aunt May. So yeah, uh, and Beha. So I have to say, first of all the classic Peter Parker dynamic of him trying to be Spider-Man while leading a normal life, I think was done very, very well here. Especially for the high school setting. Now, heading. So basically, he's Spider-Man. Yeah, he's basically going through all the different high school problems. In addition to trying to be a superhero. He is, you know, he's on an academics team, but but he constantly has to, but he basically has to try and bow out, because he wants to be Spider-Man, and he also has the Stark internship, which is basically a cover for him being Spider-Man. And excuse me. So, anyways, is going back. Is anyway, sorry, lost my train of thought there. So as I was saying, he's constantly having to bow out of things before he's out of things to being Spider-Man, and obviously, and of course she's looking she's attracted to the one of a popular girl, but he's trying to fit in along with his friend, and so well, yeah. Done there. I thought that whole thing was done very well. And what now? Now as far as the other characters, I thought they did well too. Such as and thankfully, hmm, sorry, I lost my train of thought there again. As I was about to say, I think the relationship between Peter Parker and Tony Stark is done very well. You don't see very much of Tony Stark, but we do see that Tony is basically trying to get that Tony Stark basically wants Peter to be a normal kid. Kid. He doesn't want him to be going around and doing what the Avengers do. So yeah, and of course there are things that, of course, this does lead to Peter Parker getting in. Parker obviously he having, like I said, having to bow out from his academics team, and then but him but also having to go back, getting back on the academics team. Basically, and basically he's doing this because, well, he basically finds out now that there are some illegal weapons traders, or not traders, but illegal. There's basically an illegal high-tech weapons. There are some illegal high-tech weapons dudes in there, who's going around in the neighborhood. It's selling high-tech weapons salvaged from the Avengers battle in New York, which is basically because is essentially after the battle with New York, or we see in the beginning of the movie, we see we see the battle with New York. Uh, Basically, after the battle, there were some dudes cleaning up, but the government organization called the Damage Control comes in. However, they do keep some of the technology, and so 8 years later, during the events of Captain America's Civil War, or the they're now, or the guy who, or the head guy on the construction team, on the team, is now the Vulture. And he and his guys now make illegal weapons and sell them to criminals. So yeah, of course, there's him trying to take this down. Now it does lead to some interesting encounters. Now, before I go any further though, with that, I do want to talk more about the high school dynamic. So, basically, in the process of trying to keep his identity secret, he accidentally lets his friend know. Who he makes his friend promise to not tell anybody that he's Spider-Man. And of course, this ends up basically getting him into some very interesting situations, such as there's a scene in which they're in gym class where that's where they're doing sit-ups, and basically what's happened, and basically they overhear the popular girl Liv saying that he has a crush on Spider-Man, and Peter's friend basically he can't help himself and just blurts out that, oh yeah, Peter knows Spider-Man, and of course because I mean, wow, that's probably one of the better scenes in the movie. And he does that is when that happens. Because obviously now Peter is in a bit of a jam. Because now people know, because now his friend very nearly revealed his identity. So yeah. Though I have to say the friend basically serves as Peter's guy in a chair, or his headquarters or his headquarters, whatever you want to call it. And of course, during the trip to the academics competition, I forget what it was called now. Oh, I'm sorry. They go and of course, as while they're looking at the suit, they end up Peter takes the tracking device off his suit, and then and his friend, while analyzing the suit, basically discovers that there is a training wheels on it. Now I'll get to that in just a minute, because I want to go back. Well, actually, not. I should. That's jumping around too much. So anyways, I was saying, yeah, there's a training wheels program that Tony Stark installed, because basically he wants Peter to be a normal kid and just wait Probably just obviously probably let him graduate high school first before he, or he, first before he becomes a full-fledged member of the Avengers. And of course, this leads to, and this is when we see Spider-Man and really get, yeah, really become he becomes Spider-Man. But of course now, and this is where basically one of the major, major, I guess you could say plot points or the movie he starts to show itself. It's the fact that yes, Peter has a good heart and he wants to do good, but he's basically does not understand his powers yet, and he does not understand basically, and he does not understand what he's getting himself into, which does lead to him now, which does lead to him getting him getting into some very hairy situations, like ending up in damage control storage vault. And then there's also then there's also the fact that he more or less ends up and up nearly causing an entire ship to sink. Showing that basically, even though yes, he does do that. Even though yes, he does have does want to do good, and that yes, he does want to be a superhero. Well, clearly has no understanding of what he does, handing of what he's getting himself into, and he just does not understand this new world. So yeah, and that's probably one of the best plot points of the movie. Especially when he loses the suit. Basically, after he gets a shit, it's a fair nearly sliced in half and nearly sinks it because he was basically being reckless and trying to stop up the major weapons gang. Hang. Basically, Tony Stark takes the suit back, and that's I think is one of the better scenes because it shows that because it's there that we basically get to see that Spider-Man, and once again, just does not understand this new world that he's in. So yeah. So afterwards, so basically, what happens is, so after that, basically, he ends up getting after that he ends up getting his suit taken away. He goes back. It's then and he basically ends up I guess spending the whole school having to spend the rest of the school year in detention. He gets asked to go to homecoming with a popular girl, and then of course it's then that we find out that the Vulture, the guy who's been the headmaster behind the illegal underground high-tech weapons ring, is actually the popular girl's father, and that's pretty interesting, and that's pretty cool. Well, obvious and cool. So yeah, and once again we see him struggling with trying to be a hero. Because at the homecoming dance where he drives them to homecoming, the Vulture sends his daughter in first, and then tells Peter, "Stay out of my business." And then basically what happens is Peter ditches the girl at the dance, and goes back to his original suit. I guess you could say, a handmade suit that looks like, I guess, fabric. He made with stuff from a fabric store, I guess. Excuse me. So anyways, yeah. So, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool as well. Hell. So yeah. Uh, mm, mm. So anyway, well yeah. Now, I do think that think that that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. As I was about to say, I liked the final battle before I lost my train of thought. But anyways, I liked the final battle with the vulture. Vulture, how vulture. So I did like that, and you see there that even without a suit, he still, Peter Parker still has a good heart and still wants to be, and still wants to do good, as he does take the, since he does get the Vulture exposed, and he saves the Vulture after the suit after his wingsuit malfunctions and explodes. Oh, so anyways, yes, so yeah, and I thought, and then after that, uh, so yeah, sorry, I lose my train of thought. Not here. Nah, I do want to say that if there is one problem with the movie, I think it would have to be, yeah, I don't know. Actually, yeah, nah, I can't think of any. So anyway, is one more thing I do want to discuss before, or I go, or as before the final or rating, mm, eating, and then eating is how it's basically how it ends. Basically, I like the ending how when when Tony Stark offers Spider-Man a new upgraded suit that basically, or I should say Peter Parker, or Peter basically says, "Nah, I'm good," and decides that yeah, he just needs to be he just has to be a Peter Parker, a normal Peter Parker for a while. Niall. And decides that yeah, maybe yeah, I just need to complete high school for a while, and then goes home. Oh, and then but basically basically Tony Stark ends up sending him the original Spider-Man suit, and then Hoot. And I have to say the ending is actually funny. Honey, where he takes off the Spider-Man mask, and we see that Aunt May now who knows who he is. So yeah. Now, well, I just want to quickly discuss some of the characters of this movie. So first off, we have obviously we have Peter Parker. Who I think Tom Holland did a wonderful job playing, and we clearly see that he's torn between being Spider-Man and also but also trying to have a high school life. And then we have Peter Parker's friend. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. Who to me at least, he's just in the beginning kind of came off as annoying, and somebody and basically he's sort of a superhero obsessed dude who once he learns who Spider-Man is, I mean Peter Parker's true Parker's, or once he learns who Peter Parker's Spider-Man, basically what happens is he ends up basically driving Peter insane. Well, I shouldn't say driving Peter insane, but basically what he does is he just wants to know all about the Avengers, and he does, and basically he's the one who gets Peter in, who basically ends up saying that Peter knows Spider-Man. To me, at least, he just came across as irritating. And then, of course, we have the Vulture, who who I think did a fantastic job. But yeah, and yes, he's clearly illegally selling weapons to criminals, but he's doing it because he has a family he needs to look after. He's doing it because he has a doing it because he needs to look after his kids. He needs to provide for his family and before that, all he really was essentially a construction worker for Erica. So yeah, yeah, uh, eh, uh, and after that, uh, and so but you can clear. But what I'm trying to point and to get to here is that you can clearly see that even though yeah, what he's doing is wrong, he's not at heart he is do he does have a good purpose, or I should say he does have a good motive for doing it. He's not just doing it because he's an evil criminal who wants to make money. He's doing it because he wants to provide for his family. So, and obviously, and the other characters like Liv, I think, if to me, are just kind of, for me, I don't feel that they're really important. I mean, Liv is because she's basically the Mary Jane of the, I guess you could say, of the franchise, of this movie. But basically, Liv. But basically, we know. Basically, that's essentially the essential characters, besides Tony Stark, 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 who is the Avenger, who basically plays the mentor or role of towards or well, I shouldn't say mentor, but basically he plays this. He is the spider. He is the he is the men. Excuse me. Basically he plays the role of the veteran mentor, the guy who's been through it all, who even though yes he gives Peter the suit, basically he is trying to keep him out of Avengers business. Doesn't want Avenger out of Avengers business. Doesn't wants Peter to lead a normal life. So yeah. So anyway, his final verdict for this movie for Spider-Man and Homecoming is an 8 out of 10. A very, very good movie. Would I recommend this movie? Yeah, yes, absolutely go see it. And so there you have it. Spider-Man Homecoming, 8 out of 10. Go see it. And well, that about wraps up for this video. My name is SecondWind814. Thank you so much for watching. May the wind always be at your back. See ya!